Hey guys, how's it going? So this is going to be my first recipe stroke cooking video. So today we're going to be doing a sort of a healthy take on a shepherd pie. So I've got Muscle Food chicken breast mince. I've never used this before and normally use turkey mince. So we're going to give this a go, see what it's like, and I'll let you know how it goes. We've got some celery, carrots, rosemary, thyme, onion, garlic, chicken stock, salt, pepper, some fry light, and to go with it we have a cabbage and broccoli medley. I also have my chopping board and my trusty knife. So I'm going to film the process so you can see what I do, how I make it, and then hopefully you guys can try this out and let me know how it goes for you. Right guys, what we're going to start with is a mirepoix. That is a mixture of small diced celery, carrots and onion. So what you want to do, slice that down the middle, and again, and then there we go, that's one. That should be enough celery. I actually forgot to buy a whole carrot, so I'm using carrot batons, bit of improvisation. So just do about the same amount of carrot as you've got celery. That's what you really need, is a bit of equal amounts of everything. There we go, that should give it a couple more. So when you're cutting things, what you want to do, I'll show you with one more. So your blade shouldn't leave the board. So what you want to do is you tuck your fingers in underneath your knuckle, so the blade should sort of go along, so it's not going near your fingers. So that's why you tuck it in at the bottom, and then you just rock the knife so it doesn't, the tip doesn't leave the board, and then you can sort of pick up the pace as you get better. There we go. So that's the carrot. Okay, so I've taken the skin off the onion. So with the onion, what you want to do is slice downwards quite close together. And then make 2 or 3 incisions across ways. And then to get a dice, there we go, diced onion. So again, down the ways, across, and then dice. That should be enough. So guys, I want to show you this little gadget. My mother-in-law bought me this. So you got this rubber tube in this little dish and this little brush. So let's see what it does. So you put the garlic in the middle of the tube, you roll it, and it's supposed to skin the garlic, but it's crushed it to pieces. Maybe I'm too strong. Let's try again with this one. Need to stop working out too much. Well, this isn't going to plan. Yep, that didn't work. So I'm going to peel it the old-fashioned way and show you this second part. Alright, so you got this dish, and what you do is you just grate it in this dish. And then if you get the brush, you just brush it all out, and then you got some nicely minced garlic there. Usually it works better than this. It has worked in the past. It just, obviously because I'm filming it, it decided not to work. Sod's law. So, a bit more out of this. That should be enough garlic, to be fair. It's not a garlicky dish. So we have 3 stalks of rosemary. So the best way to get the leaves off the rosemary is literally just pull down from the stalk and rip the little bit off the top. So the time can either be much easier or much more difficult. If you've got hard stalks, then it's more difficult to get the leaves off, but these stalks are quite soft. So certain times a year you can just sort of chop them up finely and leave the stalks on. But if you've got the woody stalks, then you have to strip them because that won't be very nice. So I've chopped up the rosemary in thyme, but I just want to show you the best way to get it nice and fine. So if you place your hand on the tip of the knife here and just do a rocking motion across the herbs and then drag back and repeat until you get them as fine as you need them. It doesn't really matter so much with this dish because it sort of all soaks into the flavour of the juices. So there we go, nice and fine. Okay, so what we've got here, got the pot heating up. Just give it some firelight. Let that heat up for a minute. Also got a pot of peeled and chopped sweet potato going on there. That's for the topping. Use that instead of white potatoes. So just wait for this, once the fry light goes clear, that means it's heating up. I like to use this big pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our mirepoix. Just start that off. And we're also going to go in with our garlic. And what you're looking for here is for the onions to start turning a little bit translucent. So that's had a few minutes to sweat down. So what we need to do now is go in with our chicken mince. Now I need to be careful here because I've never used it before, so I don't know how delicate it's going to be. So you want to get that working straight away. Try not to let it catch on the pan. So what you want is it to all be coloured. You don't want to see any sort of raw chicken, and also you want it to start breaking down so it has that sort of mince texture. So I'm just going to keep this going and I'll be back with you in a few moments. Right, so that's all sealed off and it's all broken down. As you see, it looks just like any other mince. So what I'm going to do is go in with the herbs. Just give them a quick stir in. They don't need to cook off or anything, you just want to get them in there. And then what we're going to go in with now, we've got some tomato puree, so you want to go in with a decent dollop of that. And then you just sort of clear a little space in the pan so that the tomato puree is actually touching the bottom of the pan. You just want to cook that off for just 30 seconds. Sort of gets rid of the tartness of the tomato puree, brings out the sweetness. And then just stir that in. Oh, it smells really good now with the herbs and the garlic. Just make sure that tomato puree is mixed in well. You don't want sort of lumps of tomato puree. You want an even distribution. There we go. And then what we're going to go in with now is a few splashes of Worcester sauce. Mix that in. And now we go in with our chicken stock. So this is just one stock cube. I prefer to use the stock pots. It's just one stock pot mixed with 500 ml of water. Don't necessarily have to use all that, but just pour it in until it just about covers. There we go. So then give that a good stir. And then let that come to the boil. And then what we do is we reduce the temperature, reduce the heat to sort of a medium to low and just let it simmer away. And once the liquid starts evaporating, the flavours start getting more intense and it gets thicker. So let that just come to the boil. Sweet potatoes are nice and soft, so I'm going to drain them off, ready for mashing. I don't add anything else to the sweet potatoes, just a bit of salt and pepper, no butter, no milk. That's up to the boil now, so we're going to reduce that down. Just let that simmer away. So the next time I come back to you, it should be ready to top with the mash. Okay, so this is where we are now. Everything's all cooked off, the sauce is reduced. You don't want to reduce it too much, you still want a bit of the sauce in there. So that's perfect right now. Let's just do a bit of a taste. Really, really nice. Just needs a touch of seasoning. With seasoning, so just a little bit. So it should be season taste, just add a little bit at a time. It's always better to under season than over season, because obviously you can't take it out once you put it in. So try again. Salt is perfect. I like to get a good amount of pepper in there. Gives it a little bit of a kick, a little bit of heat. There we go. That's perfect. So now I'm going to switch around to show me topping the mince. Okay, so we've got the mince in this Pyrex dish. Got the sweet potato. So we're just going to top it. It's best to do the outside edges first. And then fill it in. Right, so that's all the sweet potato on. So what we're going to do is just mix it round, just sort of flatten it out a bit to get a good coverage. And then what we do is I like to just give it a bit of a, just do this, get some a little bit of height on it so these bits will go crispy. Okay, so that's all dished up now. It's going to go in the oven, probably about half an hour on a high heat, just so you get a nice bit of colour on the potato. And then I'll plate it up for you and let you see what it's like once it's all dished up. So here it is, guys, the finished article. So a take on shepherd's pie with sweet potato and chicken mince from Muscle Food. It's absolutely delicious. We've got a nice bit of greens there. So give it a try, let me know what you think, and hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do, like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the little bell so you get my notifications. See you later, guys.